Gay on Blue Gum Park, Australia. I'm having to do some emergency repairs for my septic. So this is a job to be done with a licensed plumber. I've got a good friend who's a licensed plumber. So what I'm doing is digging the absorption trench. The old one's failed, so I've got some issues there with effluent flowing out of the paddock. So I've got myself an excavator. Now, unfortunately, I'm just circling the feed to the bore pump. For some reason, it's 50 metres from where the plumbing is, in the middle of where I need my new trench, so I have to reroute that. Now, James is there holding the laser level I've got set up so I can chase the level of the trench. So I'm just circling the little receiver on the staff. So that lets us know what depth we are. So it has to be all calculated, and it must be done all to specifications to meet code. So my good friend who's a plumber signing off on all this and giving instructions, and also doing the plumbing bit. So I'm just doing the brutal digging. So just bringing up a picture of what I'm actually doing. So here's our absorption trench. So we've got our plastic cover there, the archy bit, and then we've got gravel all around that, and we've got geotech on the bottom and the top of it. So that's the shape I'm digging to backfill with plastic polytunnels. So the unfortunate bit is now I've hit that bore pump feed. It's very expensive cable because it's a 400 metre run to the bore pump. So I've got to reroute that. It can't be in the absorption trench. Now, luckily enough, I'm a licensed electrician and electrical contractor, so I can do that myself. So you're about to see, when you've got a digger, you might as well go nuts. So this was all done of night time, so I've levelled off my bank there. It was a bit steep before, so I can mow it. Now there's my switchboard, so I've had to trench all the way from that switchboard down and around my absorption trench to rerun the electrical. So this trench was not in the original plan, so it's a bit of a major issue. Now I find myself a little shingleback lizard, so I'm going to move him, pick him up. He's a nice little fella, bit of a pat from James. I'll just put him over the fence into the orchard where he can get some slugs and snails, and he's clear of any machinery. He can't, so I won't run over the poor little thing. So there's my trench for my sewer, to reroute my sewer. So there's the original line there. That's going to get plumbed into the new absorption trench, which has been dug over here. So I'm just following along. There's the old absorption trench. It's all filled in and flooded. So I go along, and I've dug up to where the electrical conduit is. There it is there, clear of the absorption trench, so that I can do an underground join and reroute that. So there's the plumbing join to come into the absorption trench. Comes in the middle. If you have a look along there, that groove, that water is actually just groundwater because it's been raining so much here. Every time I've dug down, I've actually got water. And while you've got a machine, why not dig some extra trenches just to make your life a bit harder? So that one there, I'm doing a run power across from my house to my stockyards. So because I've got electric shears that I use, my shearer uses to shear me sheep over in the sea yards there. So rather than run extension leads, I thought I'd run power over there and make it a lot easier. So here's the fun of moving 20 cubic metres of blue metal. So that's the bottom layer of geotech, and you can see the hump on the left there where the polytunnels are. And I'm going back and forth from the pile to bring the blue metal in because the trucks couldn't actually get anywhere near the absorption trench because the paddock's too wet. It looks dry, but it's actually wet underneath, as you could see before, from the water sitting in that trench, just from the groundwater absorbing through the ground. So I'm happily backfilling. I've got the family on the tools there, levelling it out as I come along for me. So they're doing a great job keeping the geo fabric up there. So I can tell you there was a lot of bumps between there and the big pile where the 20 cubic metres of blue metal was dropped off for me. So that went on for quite a few hours, which I'm not going to torture with that because that would be quite painful. So once I got all that in, then I started to backfill all the trenches. I'd put the electrical in, so as I say, I'm an electrical contractor, so I did all that myself, thankfully. Otherwise it cost me nearly $1,000 in cable as it was to reroute that. That's how bad a job it was. I had to run 90 metres of cable. So here I am backfilling and running the trenches in, so I'm compacting it with the wheels of the Bobcat there every now and again to make it all nice and compact so you don't fall into the trench. So going along high speed, and then I'm going to flick across. Now I'm going to go back. So the geotech is now on top of all the blue metal there. So now I'm going to backfill on top of that. Now, of course, when I dug the trench, I put the soil up on the top side there to allow me to come on the other side with all the blue metal. I've now got to backfill the trenches to get access back to the actual absorption trench. So I'm filling in on the plumbing there at the moment, and it's fairly soft underfoot there, so I'm taking a bit of time, otherwise I'm going to get bogged, or worst case scenario, the bobcat fall over because it falls into a trench. So I've got to muck around a bit there to get access back to my trench. So I'm working away at that there now. So it's a bit of a laborious job. This one actually finished under darkness, so luckily there's some good lights on that bobcat. So I ended up doing 28 hours on that bobcat over 2 days, so 2 14-hour days, good fun. So as I'm backfilling it here, I get my wife, and she brings down a bit of form ply so I can actually straddle my trench, because I don't want to run the bobcat across that plastic tunnel, because the weight of the bobcat, it's 1.5 tons. It's only a small bobcat, but still 1.5 tons on a plastic tunnel could collapse it. So I fill it in there like that, and then my wife brings down a bit of form ply, we put it across there. So I'm going to grab a scoop of soil here in a second and go around the other side so that I can run back and forth using the form ply to spread the load of the bobcat so I don't crush my trench in, which would be quite disastrous. So, and then I backfill it all like that, and I finished under darkness, so I haven't got a video of it finished because I haven't gone down. It's been raining today, so I didn't want to go down and have a look. So bit of a disappointment, but here comes the form ply to make me a little bridge. Throw a bit of soil in there, and basically that's the job done. That's actually 4 days worth of work, 2 days with the excavator and 2 days with the bobcat. So that was over 2 weekends, so that's why I haven't released a video for a while. I've been a little bit busy, but yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and yeah, look forward to making some more videos in the future for you.